Welcome back to Yoga Awakening. I'm Katie. And welcome to this Ease in the Challenge Vinyasa flow for strength. So we're starting off in Tadasana, mountain pose. Meet me here as you're ready. You might wiggle the shoulders a little, lifting them up to the ears and then rolling them back and down. Set aside anything that you need to attend to later on in your day. Set aside any thoughts or worries. And arrive here in your space, in your practice, in this moment. Let's come into stillness. We'll get started right away with a couple of rounds of mindful sun salutes, and we'll add in a couple extra poses here. I'll guide us through once, and then the next time through, I'll give you a little bit less instruction so that hopefully you can just connect right into your own body and tune into the rhythm of your breath as we start to connect to this idea of strength. So feel the feet rooting down, long through the spine, open through the chest. Big breath in, arms reach up and overhead. On your exhale, take it over to the right, hips bump to the left. Inhale up through center, exhale, bump the hips to the right. Come on over to the left. Inhale, up through center. Exhale, send the hips back like you're sitting in a chair, Utkatasana, chair pose. Reaching the fingertips overhead, forwards. Sit it down nice and low. And exhale, hinge at the hips so you can take it forwards into your fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, coming back to some familiar parts of our sun salute, our Surya Namaskar. Exhale to release. Inhale, plant the palms, step one foot back, followed by the other, plank pose. Spread the fingers wide. Knit the front ribs in together. Exhale, lower the knees to the mat, and here you have an option for a push-up or a couple of push-ups. And that can be the traditional or more traditional yoga version of sending elbows back, or maybe you opt to send them wide. So take whatever you need here, whatever is feeling like the appropriate amount of challenge. So this idea today of ease in the challenge, steadiness and ease in the challenge. So take those push-ups or skip it. Inhale, low cobra pose. Keep it nice and low here so you can really feel the muscles of the back engaging, supporting you. Exhale to release. Inhale, we meet in plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Maybe a couple of moments here to pedal the feet. As we come into our first down dog of our practice. As you're ready, find stillness. Inhale in, exhale out this time through the mouth. arriving here, fully present. And let's walk slowly back up to the top of the mat. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale to lift. Release the arms down along the sides of the body. And here's the rest of our warm-up now. Repeating this variation on our sun salute one more time. And this time I'll give a bit less instruction, so you can always follow along with me as you need. If you get confused about any of the poses, maybe you have it in your head there already in your body and you can get going, maybe even closing your eyes. Here we go. Inhale to reach. We start with our side stretches. So tune into your breath. Then we have chair. And then we release. And here's that familiar sun salute now. Follow your breath. Move at your own pace. You don't have to be exactly where I am. Knees lowered or lifted, and then you're finding those push-ups. Your heart opener. Meet in down dog. And let's repeat that. Inhale in through the nose. Exhale out through the mouth. Great. Walk it up to the top of your mat. And finding our half lift. And back to Tadasana. Notice how you feel in your body. Maybe the energy already stirring up. Let's keep building, adding to our flow. Find that grounding down, rooting down through your feet. Inhale. Arms overhead. Exhale to fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Remember, taking your version in any of these shapes, so hands wherever feels best for you. Come back to that idea of ease in the challenge. And we step it back, plank pose. This time we lower just right onto the belly. Cobra. Again, keep it low so you can really feel the muscles of the back there engaging. Press into the tops of the feet. Lower down. Send your hands off the sides of your mat. You might start with fingers tented. Lift up, bent elbows. Here comes our first little challenge. We're going to sway side to side. So coming on over further to one side, bend that elbow a little more as you straighten the opposite elbow, leaning it over, challenging muscles of the arms, shoulders, chest. If you want a little more, you're walking your hands further away from you. Turn the fingers out. And it's kind of like these really wide cobra sort of push-ups. Side to side. And then lower it down. Press down into the pubic bone. Hover, locust pose. Elbows now squeezing back towards the midline. Lift maybe even the thighs off the mat, shins, feet, hands. Lift a little higher. Exhale. Plank pose. Downward dog. Inhale, right leg lifts. Send it forwards. Set up for a high lunge. Inhale in your high lunge. Exhale, open it out to the side. We're coming through skater, opposite side. So left knee bends. And now skater, second side, right knee bends. Through center, goddess pose. Both knees bend, sink it down low. Maybe a little sway to get started. Cactus arms. Puff out the chest there a little bit as you sink it low. Think back to those hips in chair pose. Nice and low underneath you. And back to high lunge, but second side. So now you're facing the back of your mat. Inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. From down dog, maybe this time just one step or a hop. Through to Uttanasana. Halfway lift, then fold. Arms overhead and down along the sides of the body. Back to mountain pose, now facing the back of the mat. Great, second side, inhale. Exhale to fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plank pose. And now again, we're just lowering down to the belly. First, find your cobra. And then on your exhale, release. Find that wide stance in the hands. Lift up. And send it over. Side to side. Now, you could certainly make this a little bit more challenging and do it from this half push-up position. Hands wide, fingers out. So add the challenges you need. You could, of course, come into full plank. Side to side. And then locust pose. Feet and hands lift up off the mat. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Release, plank. And downward facing dog. This time a left leg lifts up. Send it through high lunge. Meet your breath. Steady your breath. Skater pose. Over to the front of the mat. So right knee bent. And second side, left knee bent, skater. Through to goddess, both knees bend. How can you find ease? So it doesn't mean it's less challenging. But how can you find ease within the challenge? Slowly make your way to high lunge. Now, at the front, facing the front of your mat. Back to that first side. And exhale, plant the hands, step it back, downward facing dog. Here from downward facing dog, you can take just a moment to lower onto the knees. You might, of course, opt to turn this into a little balasana and come on down for a moment or two in child's pose, and of course, you know you can take that anytime you like. But I'm just going to show you our next move here, and this one might not be so familiar. So you can take a moment on your knees just to watch, and we're coming through that down dog, and I like to bend my knees, and I encourage everyone to at least start with those bent knees. And for these next two movements, we'll be taking sort of push-up variations in our down dog. So you will be negotiating with your hamstrings, of course, so that's why I like bent knees to start, and that will also take out a little bit of the load. So first, our tricep push-ups. So to do that, I'm going to keep everything the same in my down dog, and then simply lower the elbows as much as I can down towards the mat. So a real challenge here. Do your best, give it a try. And then our second shape will be a bicep push-up. So we'll be coming again right from our down dog, and remember you can bend your knees as much as you like. And then I'm just lowering the head kind of towards the hands. So nothing else is really moving except, of course, bending your knees and unbending as much as you need. Let's give it a try. So if you're in your child's pose, meet us here. Downward facing dog, bending the knees as much as you like. And let's aim for 10. Challenging. So triceps first. 1, 2, 3. Bending the knees on that descent as much as you need. 4, 5, 6, 7. Keep going. 8, 9. One more, 10, hold, and release. Come in to your child's pose for a moment there. Allow the fronts of the shoulders to relax. Steady the breath. And we're coming right back in to our down dog, building the challenge. Bending the knees as much as you like, and I'll do that with you. And then bend the elbows now out to the sides, and my head just follows along. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, keep going, 3 more, 8, 9, 10, pause, and release, back to child's pose. Take a moment to notice. Notice where the energy is in the body. Notice what areas of the body you've probably sparked and fired up. And maybe the next time you come back to this practice, you do those 10 a little bit more slowly, and that is what builds the challenge, lowering down even more slowly. Let's meet in down dog. And as you're ready, maybe that's one step up to the top of the mat or a hop. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Back to forward fold. Arms up and overhead. Exhale, Tadasana, mountain pose. Reground. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. We're making fists. Strong arms, feel all that work you've just done. And then we're gonna pull down, so bend the elbows. Imagine you're moving through water, some sort of sticky substance, and then send the hands in fists out behind you. So extending there through the shoulder. Great, 2 more. Inhale, reach. Clench the fists. Find some activation there. Pull actively down and extend. 1 more. Inhale. Exhale, find your strength. Pull down and extend. Great, a little work for the back of the body, hopefully there. And then from this extended pose, so drawing the shoulder blades towards one another, puffing out the chest. Step your right foot back and come halfway forwards. You can still find those fists here, coming into arrowhead or this half lowered high lunge. Strong engagement there through the hip. Let the breath bring you back to ease. Inhale, release the fists, high lunge, arms overhead. Exhale, 90-90 lunge. So what that really means is just these 2 bent knees here instead of our back leg extended. We'll add the bend through the right knee and kind of forming like a rough 90-degree angle here, a 90-degree angle there. You might need to adjust your stance a little bit. Don't worry too much about how perfect it is. Just come into your body here, feel the challenge. And then imagine where we're going. We're moving to warrior 3, so envision that. Feel it happening. Feel the power you need to kick off through the back leg and send it forwards. Once you've found that image in your mind, send it away. Warrior 3, Virabhadrasana 3. Hands behind, maybe you find those fists again and really extend through the shoulders. Shoulder blades moving towards one another. Inhale. Exhale, release. Tadasana. Release the fists, open the hands. Palms face front. Steady your breath. And let's repeat second side. Start with those pull downs. Arms overhead. Find your fists again. As you're ready, imagine that you're moving through something sticky. Send it down and back. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Great, this time left foot steps back. Tilt the torso halfway forwards. You can still be clenching the fists, finding a little extra engagement there. Extra challenge, arrowhead. Inhale, release the fist, high lunge. And a 90-90 lunge, so lowering, bending through the back knee. You can, of course, make your stance a little shorter. Really strong through both legs. Once again, imagine where we're going. Now you know, warrior 3. Envision all that power you have in your legs to kick off and send you forwards. We'll keep lowering down really strong, and as you're ready, kick it off, warrior 3. Steady and strong. One more inhale. And exhale. Tadasana. From Tadasana, we're lowering into boat pose. So again, you might imagine that. How are you going to get there? Can you not use your hands? Sit the hips back. Find that balance point. Boat pose, knees bend. Think about those front ribs knitting in. As soft as you can be here. Through shoulders, fingers, toes. No unnecessary tension building up. Soften the jaw. Let's take it over into some twists. Hands to one side and the other. Now the challenge here is keeping everything else really steady and stable. So we're not whipping the body through space. But there's this steadiness that we're cultivating. Maybe even tapping into a feeling of ease. As you meet the challenge with everything you've got, focus on that twist there happening through the mid-back. One more to each side. And release. Send it forwards just for a brief moment. Grab around the fronts of the shins. And you might tuck chin to chest. Feet on the floor now. Curl in. And we're going to repeat that coming up to stand and coming to boat. So do your best, give it a try. See if you can lift it up. No hands. Tadasana. We're lowering it back down. Back to boat. One more time. Twists. Knees bent. Imagine that you're trying to bring the knees to the chest and chest to the knees. Next time you come back to this practice, you could add a little weight, maybe a filled water bottle, a block. You could use that for the whole practice, adding a little load, challenging the tissues, one more to each side. And release. One more time, folding it forwards. Arms coming around the fronts of the shins. And make your way on to your back. Final moment of challenge here before we cool it down. Send the legs up. And take a moment there to wiggle around as you like. Maybe some rolls through the ankles. And then we're coming into toe taps. Nice and strong. Send the hands to the toes and lower. Use your exhale as you lift it up. Fingers to toes. Maybe they touch, maybe they don't, it doesn't matter. We're just looking for that feeling of activation that's sure to come here through the belly. As we lift the head, shoulders and arms up. Knees can be bent or straight. Do your best to relax the sides of the neck, and that can be a challenge in and of itself. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Release the head to the mat. Come into constructive rest. Feel the back of the head land. And then let's open it up into Supta Baddha Konasana, reclined bound angle. Here I like to take this option to bend at the elbows, add a little bit of opening there through the chest. If this isn't the right shape for you, take any other pose. Any other pose that will really let you feel like you're just spilling it open now. So all this control, all this work to bring a feeling of grace and ease into the challenge, let all of it go. Just become like jello, soft and open. Let the breath come and go as it does. Maybe feel its rhythm as it starts to slow. Then we'll bring the feet back to the floor and keeping them wide, send the knees off to one side, and then through center and off to the other. Move through that simple flow a few times. Next time you send the knees over to the left, pause there. Feel a nice opening through the belly, thighs, maybe a twist through the back. Again, letting everything spill out, holding on to nothing. Send the knees back through center, second side off to the right and hold. Plant the feet one final time. Let's move into our final resting pose. Shavasana, extend one leg and the other. If the arms were there in cactus, release them down now along the sides of the body. Palms face up as you allow the fingers to curl in naturally. Feel the shoulder blades on the mat. Pelvis and hips heavy. Close the eyes or soften the gaze. And take in all of that strength, the physical strength, but also the mental strength, meeting the challenge with ease. Feel it land in your body and your being. Feeling your inner strength. Feeling in the body still what it was like to stand rooted and tall in Tadasana. As you're ready, find your way to your seat. Gather all of that strength in as you bring the hands together. The light in me bows to the light in you. Namaste.